So I had just returned from the halfway house program the day before, and it was let's see, the date had to have been October the 13th. And so I'm sitting there at home, just got out the shower, about to do my makeup. My niece is about to come over and do my hair. She got me a new wig that she actually did herself. And so I'm excited about this because now I'm going to be employed. I'm seeing my kids on the regular, and I'm following the rules. I'm sitting at home and my phone ring. I answer the phone and it's the halfway house. Well, I thought nothing of it because they would call me just to check in sometimes themselves. And so they say, Miss Bush, are you sitting down? And so I found that to be very odd. And I was like, no, I'm not sitting down. And the lady says, well, maybe you want to sit down. And so I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? And so she says, apparently the BOP has put a list together of people who they have taken their dates from, and you're one of those people. So for your name and one other person name at this halfway house has come down. I'm going to need you to pack up all your things and return back to the halfway house. I don't know what we're going to do with you because your time, since it has changed, puts you to where I had like a year and a half left on my sentence. And so the lady was basically telling me it's a possibility that I may have to go back to jail. I broke down crying so hard, and she was like, hold on, hold on. I was like, you want me to come back right now? And she was like, yes. I hung up that phone with this lady. I sat there and I'm crying and crying and crying like death. And I started making phone calls to my family members. They don't understand what I'm saying. I'm basically telling them the halfway house just called me and just literally knocked the wind out of me and told me that it's a possibility that I could be going back into federal custody, that some kind of way the BOP has taken my First Step Act away from me. And they're like, hell no, it's no way. So my sister and I got on the phone calling the Congress people. So in the midst of this, I reached out to one of my really good friends who I spoke about in one of my videos. And for the record, the people that I was really good friends with while I was at FMC Carswell, my small little circle, ended up leaving prison before me. How I keep in contact with these people, and my family kept in contact with these ladies as well. And so when I got home, they let them know that, hey, my sister's about to come home, and they were relaying the message back to me, letting me know how happy everybody was that now our little small circle, our little small clique was all about to be free and on the outside. And so I remember sitting there, and my really good friend Jacqueline Morrison out of Fort Worth, Texas, she had written a really good book about how she ended up in federal prison, and it's called From Prestige to Prison. If y'all can, check that book out on Amazon. My really good friend Jackie, I called her crying on the phone, and she said, Kalitha, I'm telling her what's going on, and she said, stop crying right now. And she told me, that is not going to be your story. Let me reach out to some people and make some phone calls for you. You just stayed up by the phone. And she was so calm. And so I hung up the phone with her. By this time, my kids are calling me, my grown kids. They're upset, crying, like, oh my God, they're going to take you away again. Like, Mama, no, this is not fair. And so it was a very emotional time for me. And so I remember my phone just started ringing. And this is why advocacy is so very important. My phone started ringing with people I had never heard of in my life other than Kevin Raines of FAM. Somebody said, a man voice on the other end of the phone, is this Miss Kalitha Bush? And I said, yes, this is she. So I'm thinking this is somebody else calling to bug me about this First Step Act stuff. He said, I'm Kevin Raines with FAM. I'm the president and founder of FAM. Could you please tell me what happened to you and what's your situation with the First Step Act? So I go over this whole story with him. I'm telling him, he's asking me, so did you program? And I'm like, I absolutely programmed. I even worked the out custody job. I have so many certificates here. I completed courses and everything. I even have certifications since being incarcerated. And so he was like, okay, so who told you this, that they've taken your time credits away? And also, anybody else's name came up in this. He wanted to know if it was somebody else. They said it was me and one other person. But the lady did end the conversation by letting me know that she's sure that many more names would come down. And he was appalled at that. And he told me, I'm going to get on the phone with the director of the BOP and the Bureau of Prisons, and we're going to figure out something because this is not right. And if we have to go into court and file an injunction or a lawsuit against the BOP on your behalf, we will do that, Ms. Bush. And so So there's another voice that pops on the phone, introduce themselves as Dawn Brooks with the Color of Change. And so I hadn't really heard too much about the Color of Change out then. I'm on the phone and I'm telling her everything. Like I programmed, I stayed out of trouble. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I even just got employment. I am trying to restore my family and get my life back together again. This is not fair to me. And they immediately got very upset. Next thing you know, they have another person join in on this phone call, and everybody is going backwards and forward with me, telling me not to worry, don't stress myself out, that just go ahead and turn myself back over to the halfway house, that they're going to be working on this and they will be in contact with me. I didn't know too much about advocacy and how fast they worked. I knew that there were so many people that advocated for people who were incarcerated like myself when I was there, and that it was so hard if you ever even got a result out of anything. But I kind of like put my faith in these people. And then my friend Jackie called me back and she talked to me so calm and nurturing. And she just basically telling me, Kalitha, no matter what, if you have to go back to the halfway house, you're not going back to prison. Don't worry about that. Don't stress yourself. Believe in God. Like you're a woman of faith, like I'm a woman of faith. I'm praying for you. Just keep the faith and know that, hey, this is just a little bump in the road. I'm freaking out because I feel like, hey, they're trying to take my freedom from me and I haven't done anything. And so I remember the next day I get up, I get dressed. My family gets me back to the halfway house. I get to the halfway house and I check in and my family's outside hugging me and kissing me like it's the last time that they're going to see me. Like I'm literally going back into BOP custody or something because the unknown is the unknown at this